Mr. Edgar here doing a review on the Tokarev, the TT-33, an interesting pistol, and one that I really do enjoy shooting. For a while there, the ammunition was remarkably cheap, although it looks like it's getting a little more expensive with the popularity of those PPS-43s that are out there. Still, it is available. Just a note on the TT-33, it replaced the Nagant revolver, which is also an interesting gun, but probably not up to snuff as far as punch power. The Tokarev uses an actual Tokarev round. Gee, I love the way the Russians make their own ammo and name it for their guns. The Tokarev round is a 762 by 25. It's a hot baby. This little guy shoots out at about 1,600 feet per second, and in this configuration, standard old military ammo, it'll actually penetrate body armor. It's hot. Another weapon that shoots it is the CZ-52, and it's an interesting thing to compare between the two guns. The Tokarev is actually a smaller gun, weighs about 30 ounces, so it's not light. You know, it's got a little heft to it, but the CZ-52 is actually bigger. It's a monster of a gun. Yet the Tokarev seems to have less recoil. I've fired both, and this Tokarev is much kinder on your hand when you fire this hot round. And it is a hot round. It's accurate even with these utilitarian military sights that you see here, standard old military sights, and also with a somewhat gritty, it's a rather primitive trigger on these guns. Still, it's very serviceable, and they can be had for, like most old military weapons, had for a very low price. They're still in the $200, $225 range for a gun that's in reasonably good condition. Strip down is fairly simple. Let me start showing you on that. First of all, let's make sure that she is unloaded. She has this similar button to what we're used to for the release of the magazine. Push it out, out she comes. Rack her back. See that in fact she is empty. Okay, taking this little guy apart requires pushing out this pin here, this spring system. Now, the springs can be a little bit rugged to push. That's what holds in the slide block. Okay, some people will actually use a screwdriver, which can mar it up. You can use something that's a little softer than that. If you're out where you have to take it apart out in a range, and these, by the way, this ammo is corrosive, so you do need to clean this gun shortly after shooting it. What I've used is just the magazine. You slip it into the edge on that, give it a push, and it pushes that apart, even when they're quite sticky. You're going to be pulling this back very slightly, pull it back just a little bit, and push just the end of the slide lock. Then pull the slide lock, holding the slide, you pull the slide lock out. Now you want to hold on to this when you pull this off, because that spring is very wiggly. It's a long spring, and the guide rod is quite short. You're going to see that very short guide rod, long, flimsy spring that'll wiggle around and shoot out on you. Alright, we're going to take the bushing out, bring this up loose on the barrel, and that's it. That's the basic takedown. Now, there's an interesting thing about these guns. The hammer and trigger mechanism are all in one unit. It's modular. This is really cool. You can buy these whole units and just drop them back in. They can be taken apart. If you look closely, you'll see that there are pins in that. And these pins can be driven out, and you can take the various parts out. Usually that's not going to be necessary. Just make sure you slip that back in. It just slides in. Let's put it back together. Okay, put the barrel back in. Bushing. The bushing in. Slip this up. Now you'll notice that there's sort of a concave nibs on this and a slot. So you want to make sure you get it so it fits correctly. It's got, those have to sit down and cradle the barrel. You push that and compress the spring in, and you can see that you can actually hear it click in when that slips in there, like, you know, straddling a little bit like a caterpillar. Set those in there. She slides in pretty easily. You can hear that click properly. Now you pull it back just a little bit so it'll clear for the slide lock. Slide locks in. You see the slide block goes in there. Push the spring forward. Gently push that on there so you're not doing it, and that's the complete takedown on her. One comment about it, this is strictly a single action, and as I said, trigger's a little gritty but not terrible. It also comes, if it's one of the standard imports, it's going to come with this just ridiculous safety. The safety is almost worthless. It's hard to actuate, really doesn't work well. Another thing about these guns is the grip's going to feel funny to most of us. This grip is at a steeper angle. It's closer to vertical than most grips that we have on most automatics that we're used to. So when you hold it, it takes a little bit getting used to, but it's not terrible. There's a Yugoslavian version that actually is a little longer and may fit better to your hand. It's a single stack, so it's a very narrow aspect. It's easy to carry and very comfortable to hold for someone with hands like mine. If you don't have a great big hand, this gun fits nicely. Hot rounds, easy to get, great little gun. Pick one up. You might as well have it in your collection. This is Ed Head saying goodbye.